Alright, it looks a little bit like I've gone crazy with some kind of odd craft project. Well, what I'm about to do is show you the quickest, most delicious way that you can use to do shrimp in about 14 seconds. So what I have here is what I could find in my grocery store, which was 25-30s, and that's just the size of shrimp. All the numbers mean is that's how many shrimp you get in a pound. Now I've already peeled and deveined all my shrimp, and I've laid out all my little tinfoil packets because I want to show you what comes next. Now, not too long ago, I was doing lemon chicken en papillote, which is just chicken that you cook and you bake it off in the oven, but you cook it in parchment. And I read something that said you could cook it in foil, and then something else that said you could cook it on the grill. And when I read those two things, I had this epiphany of all the different things that you can do if you stick a little bit of food that cooks really quickly in foil. Now, we're not going to mess with the grill. We don't even need to take that much time. We're going to do it on the stovetop, and I'm going to show you how. So, all I've done is laid out several different little packets of shrimp because I want to show you how adaptable this method is. There's no recipe here, okay? This is a method, and that's what is near and dear to my heart. Now, the only thing that you have to remember is you need a little bit of salt and a little bit of oil in each packet. After that, you can do anything and everything that you can imagine as far as flavor is concerned. And here's a good example. I've picked out just about as wide a variety of flavors as I can come up with to show you you can do whatever you feel like. So if one night you might feel like you want Asian flavors, that's not a problem. If another night you want Mediterranean flavors, that's fine too. If you want to go to Mexico, take off. It's all good. Alright, so each one of my little packets, this one already had oil and salt, so each one of my little packets gets just a touch. Actually, I'm skipping him. I'll show you why in a second. Everybody else. Okay. Now, you can actually do this recipe at this point. You don't have to do anything else to it if you don't want to, because with just a little bit of salt, the way that these are going to be roasted are going to be, that would be delicious. But I like to play with flavors and possibilities. So come on over here and let me show you what all you can do. So here we've got our little shrimp, and he's been oiled, and he's got his salt. This is simply a barbecue rub. Am I in there? So that's a barbecue rub. I've got the instructions on my website. I've talked about this rub 2 or 3 different times. It's very basic. It's not spicy, although you can make it spicy if you wish. Okay? That's it. That's done. This one is SOS, which is simply a combination of garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper. And yes, there's a little bit of salt already on the shrimp. That's okay, because the salt in here is not very strong. This is going to be just a very basic, lovely, just good shrimp. Alright, this one is the one I came up with for my daughter, and she adores shrimp, and she loves capers. Now, I skipped the oil here because I'm going to use just a touch of butter. Here we go. And in this particular recipe, I was mimicking the flavors that you find in a chicken piccata. Lemon and caper and butter is a classic combination. So here we go. It looks like a lot of lemon, but you need a lot of lemon in there to pull as much flavor as you want out of the entire dish. Oh, wait, I missed my... Oh, here we go. Alright. Little jar of capers. And depending on how much you like capers, we happen to adore them. You can drain them or rinse them or not. My daughter will literally take a jar of capers and snack on it. Take a little bit of the caper juice, and he goes right over the top. So lemon, caper, and butter, right? This one may be my particular favorite. This is my tequila lime time. Just a touch of tequila. Maybe a teaspoon or 2. Lime on there. Good sprig of fresh thyme. And again, you want to use flavors that really pop because you're going after quick cooking here, which means you need some intense flavors. Now over here, I've got a little salt and oil in there already, but I've got little tiny cherry tomatoes and a nice big fat clove of garlic that I've popped up. We're all going into the pot. And over here, tiny bit of mirin, which is a sweet Japanese cooking wine, and you saw how little it takes. Little tiny bit of soy sauce. And what I love, because I love spicy, this is a garlic and chili paste I found at my Asian food market, which is absolutely unbelievable. It'll take your head off, but in a good way. You'll be glad it's gone once it's done. Alright, so over here I already have a pan which I've got preheated to medium. So give me just a second and I'll meet you over here at the stove. I gotta go wash my hands. So I'm over here. Lance decided, my daughter decided she wanted the one with the lemon and capers and butter. That's it. That's the entire method. There's nothing to it. Now, what I did learn, I did do some testing, and what I learned, if you've got the smaller shrimp, that you want them to go just at 4 minutes, hold them off and let them sit for another minute. That's all I'm going to do. No oil in the pan, no preparation. You want a dry pan that's perfectly clean, and then your foil packet goes right on top, and that's it. So I'm going to finish timing him off at 4 minutes, and I will be back to open it up and show you how gorgeous that is on the inside. Okay, so we've had 4 minutes, and when you put these down, you should be able to hear the sizzle immediately. So we've got a nice little sizzle in here. That's it. Here we go. Now, a couple things that I learned about this. First of all, there's this wonderful sauce that develops from the shrimp and the flavorings and all the lovely things that you put in there. In the bottom of this packet, you've got a freebie. You got sauce. Well, so this time I made lamb, just a little bit of, this is just a spaghetti noodle. So, ideally you want to let this rest for at least 30 seconds to a minute. You've got both resting and carryover cooking that's going to happen inside this packet. And the final thing is, once that sauce is collected down in there and you've let everything sit and kind of come together, if you give those shrimp just another turnover in that sauce, they will reward you. So, here we go. I love this. This is so exciting. Tell me. Alright, can we see down here? I don't want to lose my sauce that's in there. Okay, so here we go. Oh, that's hot. There's our lemons. We're going to come over and bring them to the plate. And that is hot. But you can see how much softer the lemons have gotten. It's because they've given all their fabulous juices. And then you automatically have, there's your pasta sauce. Okay. But the fabulous thing are these absolutely perfectly cooked shrimp. You see that? They are gorgeous all the way through. They've pinked and they've curled, but they are tender and luscious still. They are not overcooked, which is just wrong. You don't do that to shrimp. Never do that to shrimp, and that's a big problem. Most people overcook their shrimp. And then everybody in here, capers, juices, everybody. Now, of course you can use a bigger shrimp. You can use any flavor that you want to. If you use a bigger shrimp, you might want to be a little careful with your cooking time. But at most, don't go over 5 minutes. This one was 4. That took me, I don't know, even assembling all the other flavors, I think it took me less than 10 minutes. And that is probably one of the coolest tricks I know in the kitchen. And that is my daughter's lemon caper shrimp and pasta.